Ooh, what a nice triple. So hello gamers. Today I wanted to show you guys some battle rifles that aren't battle rifles. What this means is guns that are basically a battle rifle or similar to battle rifles in the game, but aren't in the battle rifle category. The first gun on this list is the VSS Vintorez. The reason that the VSS is basically a battle rifle is that it's an automatic 10 round gun with about 700 RPM, which is pretty similar to an automatic 10 round gun with 780 RPM, which is the Beowulf ECR. These guns both 2-shot to the limbs up close. This one's a little bit better, I'd say, depending on how you look at it, because it has way better multis. It does 99 damage headshot. It shoots a little bit slower and it has a little bit more recoil, but when you can 2-shot torso all ranges, whereas the ECR is a 4-shot even with torso shots, I'd say the clear winner is probably the VSS. It's better when you tap it, but I guess it might have a worse muzzle velocity. Let me check. The muzzle velocity is slightly worse, but it's not like that big of a deal. They both have pretty bad muzzle velocity, honestly. I would rather have 1800 than 1500, but this is an integrally suppressed gun chambered in 9x39, I think. In real life, this is basically an AS FAL. In this game, despite them having the same muzzle velocity and the same, I think, ammo, both chambered in 9x39, this one just does way more damage. I believe it does 58 instead of 34, which is like such a big difference. But yeah, I could spend an entire video using and talking about the VSS. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. I really like these automatic 10 round guns. They are incredibly fun to use and they can be incredibly powerful. However, obviously they have a lot of recoil. Next up though, we got a Carbine. This is the FAL 50.63 Para. In game, this used to be classified as a battle rifle, but I believe in real life, due to its shorter barrel length, it is classified as a Carbine, like a Carbine variant of the FAL 50, and also I guess a paratrooper variant. I think para stands for paratrooper, not paramilitary. It depends on the context of the word para, but I think for this one it's paratrooper. This gun really needs no introduction. I mean, the rotational recoil of it is actually pretty bad. Maybe I should slap on pistol grip instead of stubby, but who cares. I got a lot of kills with this thing back in like November. Don't really use it anymore, but it is still a very good gun. But next up, we actually got a cool gun. I put this in my underrated guns series in one of the episodes, I believe like 3 or 4 probably. Also, leave a comment if you would like to see the underrated series come back. I don't think I've done an episode for like 4 months or something. It could be like 2, honestly. I don't remember how long it's been. It's been a while though. I think I've done like 5 parts, so I do 6 next. Back in the day, those were some of my most viewed videos. I think part 1 has like 10k views. The other parts go from like 7 to 4k views, which is pretty good for the time that I posted them. But anyways, the gun itself does 2-shot torso, but it doesn't really perform that well. It's not a super good gun or anything. It has bad muzzle velocity. The RPM is not as good as the G3. The headshot multi is not as good as the G3. It only 2-shots torso to like 20 studs. The muzzle velocity, you know, like it does have a long barrel for an integrally suppressed gun, which is pretty nice. Of the G3, AG3, those guns, and I guess the HK21, I'd say the MC51SD has probably the lowest recoil of those guns. HK21 obviously super all over the place. G3 has a lot of kick and a lot of horizontal recoil, and AG3 just has a lot of vertical kick. This one tends to be pretty accurate. I don't even have a full loadout on this. It's probably like, yeah, I don't even have a grip. No grip. I could put a comp on this and take off the suppressor, but I do prefer the suppressor because this thing is incredibly quiet. And yeah, that actually kind of went off. I don't have this conversion, and people have made videos on this conversion, so I won't go too far into it. This probably makes the MC51SD kind of null and void. It can 2-hit torso, but I guess it can't 5-shot all ranges, but it has better muzzle velocity. This is a pretty good conversion for the SCAR PDW. It makes it the SCAR H PDW. This is a Carbine, but it's called PDW, and it can be a battle rifle, so it's a pretty interesting gun. The SCAR PDW is a pretty good gun though, and it's really fun to use, and it has a lot of cool conversions. 223 is good on it, 9mm is cool, and 7.62x51 is pretty cool. So if you want to grind up some kills on this gun, this has some pretty cool conversions and stuff, and I do recommend this gun. The conversion is cool, and it is basically a battle rifle in the Carbine section. But next up, we have a very interesting and fun gun, which is a battle rifle, basically a sawed-off, like folded stock version of a FAL 50 as a PDW or, you know, submachine gun, depending on what you want to call it. Very fast reload, very quick walk speed, very fast RPM, I guess, for its damage. Like all the FALs, this has a ton of recoil, and its spray pattern is pretty, you know, it keeps going up before it stops, which is probably why I like the gun so much. You know, you're gonna actually pull down, so I can get it to like stay down a little bit so it feels like you're controlling the recoil more. This game has pretty annoying recoil because it stops moving. I feel like it's not as cool for the game. It makes guns like this not as fun as they could be, but it's fine. I mean, it's easier to control that recoil. I'd say the most enjoyable FAL, and I wouldn't use 45 on this, even though it's really good. I don't recommend it because the normal gun is really fun. And yeah, 2 shots limb, but only like 15 studs. And like the normal gun, lots of recoil. I like the 20 round drum or mag, whatever, and it makes it super fun to use. It's cool that this gun actually fixes some of the problems with the FAL family, being that they have slow reloads and slow walk speed. It does not fix the recoil problem, but if it did, that would be kind of busted. It keeps the damage, makes the recoil a little bit worse, and the range is a little bit worse, but your minimum damage is actually pretty good. I believe it's like 24. But yeah, another really fun gun to use. Next up though, we got another carbine. This is the 1858 carbine. This was probably one of the last guns that I got 100 kills on. The last one being the AK-105, because I just despise that gun. I don't know if this just doesn't hit anything with a sight on it, but like, what the heck is going on? Are the sights on this thing broken or something? Okay. Okay. Anyways, you're probably like, this isn't like a Scar H. Why is this in the freaking battle rifles? The reason this is like a battle rifle is because it's like the Henry. I said this before, it's basically a Henry with half the torso kill, but like a little bit more RPM and bullets. The game ended, so I got in a new lobby. This thing on elevation might be kind of interesting. Like I said though, part of this list is guns that kind of feel like battle rifles in the game. This is definitely a lot like a battle rifle currently in the game. This is basically just the Henry, but I can never hit anything with it. And the Henry 4570, if you didn't know, is a battle rifle, although it's kind of a sniper. This is kind of the same thing, but a carbine. Would be technically, I think, with a longer barrel, a battle rifle, but since it has a shorter barrel, it counts as a carbine. But for the final gun on this list, we have the SA-58 SPR. This is another FAL type gun, but unlike the FAL guns, this can one-shot headshot up close. It does less min than the FAL 50, which is kind of interesting considering it like shoots slower. But yeah, the headshot damage is stupid. It can two-shot body pretty close as well. Like, not super far or anything, but like decently far. I used to use this gun a lot, as you can probably tell by my attachments. I have, I believe, the best loadout probably, except I used to use blue laser instead of green laser. I guess red laser would be best on this gun since it's a DMR. If you watch Tips and Tricks Part 2, you know why, so go watch that video if you haven't. This is probably one of the best DMRs in the game, probably the best one up close, which is surprising because you'd think, oh, well, the VSS is the best. No, it's not really. The VSS can't one-shot headshot anymore. This can, has double the capacity, less recoil, still has 500 RPM. If you can click it fast, bro, it just removes people. It has a lot of drop, but up close, it's really good. You can use this thing like a freaking monster gun up close. It's really fun though because it's a DMR and it's semi-auto, and you're like, wow, I'm actually shooting this thing and figuring out how to hit stuff. Ooh, what a nice triple. This is why I'm the #1 player in the world by a long shot. Nobody has ever killed me in this game. I've never died in this game. I've never gone negative in this game. I have a 20,000 KDR. The only times I die is when I die to a bug. That guy was hacking, by the way. He's hacking. That guy's hacking. But he runs muffler on it for some reason. Oh, what a nice one-shot headshot. I always headshot since I'm the #1 player in the world. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows I'm just the #1 player. See? Just the #1 player in the world. That guy's hacking. See, that's why I'm the #1 player. Oh, okay, that's too many guys. That's too many people. He's hacking. It's just funny because I say I'm not super good at the game, and then every time somebody says I'm good at the game, somebody else has to correct them and say like, no, he's just average at the game. Whatever, bro. Anyways, though, gamers, I can't hit anything. Okay, there we go. Lucky headshot, though. Oh my gosh, I'm going off. Like I said, this gun is really viable in CQC. That's great that the game ended, dude, because I need to just end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was the battle rifles that aren't battle rifles or whatever I'm gonna call the video. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.